Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be in the world right now. Welcome to the another edition of Valentines for Sports Bytes Philippines. Before we introduce our guests, I'd like to introduce my co-host again, my partner in crime, and when it comes to sports reporting, Meg Siozon. Meg, welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Good afternoon, Kuya Brian. And of course, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for inviting me for the second time here at the Sports Bites Valentine series.
All right. So okay, Meg, we have a power couple, another power couple here. A very good friends of mine. First off is we have Belay Fernando, former PH Maldita, and of course who will forget former PBA player and current Alaska Aces coach Tony Dela Cruz. Belay and Tony, welcome. Thank you for gracing us today.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Hi.
All right. So I guess it would be best to start. Where did it all start for you guys?
Tony.
Um, we met at an event actually for a company that we used to both be sponsors that sponsored us, and then basically it was I don't know Bella hit on me and
Okay, here we go.
Okay. This is the juicy part.
Okay, go.
This is all.
is it not true? Anyways,
No, it's not true.
because she saw a lanyard that I had that said UC Irvine, which is the school I went to
Mm-hmm.
for college, and so she approached me and she was like, "Hey, I know that school." I'm like, "Oh, you do?" And she goes, "I actually grew up there, part of my life." And I said, "Oh, really?" And then we made small talk, and the next thing I know, she's sliding into my DMs.
All right.
It was very, very casual and just getting to know each other. So, but it was very fun and interesting, to say the least.
Would
I think Bella has a different story
Yeah,
to tell.
I was gonna ask you.
She was like,
I mean, just go take the same story and just change the pronouns. Pretty much on point.
All right.
I'm just curious. So, what was your first impression when you first meet each other? Was it like?
I was very impressed with the fact that, here's this person who obviously was at the pinnacle of her sport. She was on the national team. As I got to know her, she was very influential in Philippine football, and she's definitely opinionated, and she stands by what she thinks and goes for. So I don't know. I was drawn to that, I think.
How about for Bella?
Wow, that's nice. I was gonna say I actually asked him what sport he played.
Yeah, she didn't know who I was, so and there was no I don't think I ever had that in my career. But do you know who I am? I always try to look at it from another side, and the fact that she was like, "Oh, what sport do you play?" I think I like that, and it kind of put me at ease that I didn't have to live up to any kind of I don't know preconceived notions of who I thought I should be or something. So.
Mm-hmm. But Bella, what was your first impression with him?
Mm-hmm.
Was there an instant attraction?
I don't know. It's more of like that company that we met, that event that we met at. It's more of like everyone was really friendly. We were just like this huge group of friends, everyone who excelled in their own sports. And then I remember that we had to do this dance thing, right? And Tony and I were both very vocal and how we wanted it to be. So I guess I was like, I felt like that he was game for anything, down for anything. So I was like, okay, that's cool. That he's down to make fun of himself because it was like a silly dance. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask, was it hard in the beginning because both of you are athletes? I mean, for Tony, he was a PBA player, and then for Bella, you were at the peak of your career in the women's football.
I don't know. I mean, I think that made it a benefit because both being athletes, we understood what the sacrifice meant to like dedicate time to your sport. So I think when you have one person who's not an athlete and the other person is an athlete, maybe they don't see the benefit of why are you away at training for 6-7 hours a day, or why do you have to go to bed early? Why can't you go out at night? You know, I think we both understood that there is a sacrifice when you are an athlete, you know, especially if you're an athlete, like, you know, obviously a professional athlete or a national team athlete. You can't go out every night, you know, you can't hang out, you can't just, you know, I guess lay around. You have to dedicate not only your time, but your focus, your energy, your dieting, you know, watching what you're eating. Obviously you're not drinking. So I think that there was a mutual understanding there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So well, I've learned most parts of your story, but for the benefit of Meg, okay, have you guys ever tried each other's sport? I mean, did Tony try football? And well, you told me this already before, but for the
Yes.
benefit, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
And the viewers as well, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, without saying too much, I tried football, and in another life I would have been Ronaldo or Messi. Like I think
The
first
last
time I
time
played, I thought I did pretty well.
Well,
But then I got frustrated because I realized it is a hard sport. So, and then she tried basketball.
I cannot do a layup, but yeah, I can do a layup to save my life. And Tony can't be Casillas in any lifetime because he didn't want to hurt his face. He didn't want to dive for the ball. Sorry naman. Everyone's like, yes, basketball player. He's gonna be our goalkeeper. Would not dive for the ball.
Would not die for them.
Yeah.
I didn't want any of this to get hurt. So. I thought it was so painful, like especially like the turf we were on, my elbows were gonna hurt. So
Yeah, he played in Sparta, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So indoor pa rin.
Indoor pa din.
Yun. Ayun. Tapos, well, that was a really fun story. Tony, how come you don't want to dive? Because of your face, that's just it? Or you just...
no, she
That's the money maker.
Yeah, exactly what he said.
no. I didn't want to hurt my elbows. And I was still like playing basketball at the time. So
Oh, yeah.
I realized if I dive, maybe I hurt my shoulder, my arm, or something, or you know, I don't want to do that. So
Injuries.
Yes.
Injuries, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the real story. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with that
Well-
one.
Okay, in every relationship, it's not always smooth, for sure. What is the greatest challenge that you have to face in the course of your relationship?
Ooh, where do I start?
Oh.
Oh my God.
Ooh. Mukhang madami, ah.
I think you want to go?
No, go.
I think at the end of the day, like with Belay's story of her getting sick,
Mhm.
I think that's a huge challenge for anybody, for any couple, but let alone person fighting cancer. And if you're one of the primary caregivers, you know, it's hard to see your partner like that. So I think that's been the biggest challenge of our relationship, is going through that, fighting it every day. You know, obviously with cancer, like you never know, and you don't want to live your life in fear. So you have to always think in that moment, stay in the moment. You want to think long term, yes, but I think that's the hardest part of our relationship right now, is just staying in the moment, staying positive, and you know, you still, like, I mean, I heard some great advice, is she's still a human being, so she's not a cancer patient, so I'm going to fight her if she makes me mad, and vice versa, she's going to fight me. So I think that's where you run into trouble if you just tiptoe around things. You don't want to, you know, discuss, you know, feelings or express things. And I think that's been the biggest challenge for us.
But yeah, I think like with every couple, this pandemic being locked down, like, you know, it highlights all those like tiny things that irritated you about each other. And you just have to learn to give each other space space, I guess, and learn to avoid each other in those times when it's like when it gets too much.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely there's so like there's a lot of differences. We were raised completely differently. We have different I don't know, just different habits. So it's just how we learn to work around each other, I guess. It's just like being part of, I think it's the athlete in us on how we adjust and work as part of a team that, we have to get through the day alive without stabbing each other.
Yes.
But yeah, just working through that.
I just want to follow on that because you've mentioned about differences. How do you deal with your differences as a
I think
couple?
the biggest thing for me, and she's taught me this a lot, is her being sick before. I always stress out, like, you can't stress, you can't stress. So if we get into an argument, like I have, calm down, don't stress. And she always reminds me that she's a human being that needs to have feelings. And so I need to allow that to happen. And I think that's where initially when I see her have some kind of emotion, I always want to suppress it. Like, stop crying. I don't want to make her angry. I don't want to make her upset. I don't want to make her sad. So I immediately try to just, okay, stop. As opposed to, this is natural. You're sad. You're angry. You're happy. Like, and allowing emotion to happen naturally, and trying not to suppress it. That's what I'm learning in this whole thing. And she's taught me that a lot.
For me naman, it's like, he mentioned that obviously I'm outspoken, which we're establishing well now. But, there's a lot of things that can, that are your differences that can annoy you. And you have to decide, like, if it's big enough and it's worthy of conversation, or just you have to let it slide. Because, like, I do have a tendency to nitpick at him. And that doesn't end well when I start to do that. So I just have to, like, decide, pick my battles, like which one is important enough to say something to him about.
Yeah. Me, I'm gonna ask. The last time we saw each other, everything was normal. Were there any things that you had to adjust? Although I see Belay naman is doing the usual business thing. I don't know with Tony. I don't see. How are things between the two of you during this pandemic? Has it altered or changed anything of your usual routines?
Well, in the beginning, when everyone was quarantined, you know, like Belay said, you spend 24 hours a day. You can't go out. There's no other social life other than the Zoom. So you forgot, I think for so many months, you forgot what it was like to be around other human beings.
Yes.
And I think we had a good routine where we finally learned our kind of like our rhythm in terms of, okay, you're going to stay here. I'm going to go upstairs to the bedroom, or you're going to go up to the bedroom. And I think it's normal, because if you cannot stay 24 hours together, like, you just do it. Like, I don't care who you are, right? And you need a break. And I think we started to, after a couple of weeks, we started to really respect that space. And obviously we would come together and eat and talk and have those moments. But I think over time we understood that it was okay to want to watch a movie by yourself. It was okay to want to read, or to sit in a room by yourself, or sit on the balcony by yourself. And then there was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I think what I appreciate about Tony is that like, even if we spend so much time together during this pandemic, we still don't run out of things to talk about. Is it accurate? Yeah. I think that we, like, whether it's something really shallow, like something he wants to show me on TikTok, or really big things, like he doesn't have an account, but he loves those TikTok videos. But or like what we want in life, things we're dealing with. I think we communicate very well on those topics, which I really appreciate.
Speaking of spending more time during the pandemic, I've talked to a lot of coaches like Coach Norman Black, who learned gardening during the pandemic.
Mhm.
As a couple, do you have like new hobbies that you discovered during the pandemic that you enjoy doing together?
Well, she would always want to cook before, and I never understood like why. What's the fascination there? And during the pandemic, I really started to get into it because I was trying to lose weight. So I was like, well, maybe I need to control what I eat, obviously. And so maybe I should learn what I'm cooking or what I'm eating by cooking it. So I started to cook, and she would help me, and she would say, oh, this would taste better this way, or try this. And I noticed over time we would be cooking together in certain moments. Like, obviously we would prepare like certain dishes together, and then she would critique it at the very end. Oh, I like this, or it needs more salt, it needs more of this. So I think that was one of the, I guess, hobbies that we picked up together, which she was already doing. She was already cooking, but I had a deeper appreciation for it once the pandemic hit.
He learned that.
And that's, I think, a good, yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
He learned that it's not that easy to cook.
Well,
That's
actu-
true.
Well, actually, it's easier now because you have YouTube to follow. Imagine if there's no technology.
Oh, he doesn't follow a recipe actually.
I just
Oh.
We don't do it
My taste.
by
Really?
taste. Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the hardest part of cooking kasi, Kuya Brian, is the preparation.
Ah, yeah.
And
When you
and the
prepare
heat
the
over the
ingredients.
stove. I mean, I'm sure during the lockdown, I'm sure you remember how the heat, like it was just so hot,
Yeah.
especially during that summer. It was really horrible. That's when he started to learn to cook.
Would I dare ask the best dish that Belay? I'll ask Belay.
Yeah.
The best dish that Tony cooked for you.
He loves to make it, and it's pretty good. He loves to make shakshuka.
What's that?
Ooh.
What's that? I don't know that.
Mediterranean
Oh.
dish.
Yeah, it's a Mediterranean dish, yeah.
It's like the base of tomatoes. There's egg. There's, you put some cheese if you want. Other veggies, like you put olives and stuff.
He
But
just like hides veggies in it.
yeah, like I'll chop like broccoli and cauliflower and then saute it and then put it in there. So I think I'm sounding very, very.
He's bringing out the big words now.
big
Saute.
saute.
I know. Very technical.
Is that a new
How about-
career move for Tony? Chef
no.
Tony?
No.
Yeah, that sounds nice, Chef
Yeah.
Tony.
No. That's it.
I enjoy it, but
No, that's it.
yeah, I'm not-
That was the end of the line.
All right. Go, Meg. Sorry, Meg.
How about for Bella? For Tony, what's the best dish that Bella cooked?
She can cook a lot of things. I think the best dish, like when she really goes all out, she makes really, really good salmon.
Mhm.
And then on like special occasions, like when we want to spend a little money, she'll cook like a really good steak. So, and I mean,
No,
it's
what's my signature? What's my
what's your
signature?
signature.
Chili.
Oh, yeah, she loves to cook chili, and it's all right, but I'm not a big chili fan, so
It's like the chili, like that's for like the family. Like
Yeah.
it's family style.
but she could.
Belay, would you mind sharing me your recipe? Because I love
Of
chili
course.
also.
Ooh. Is it Mexican style chili?
Yeah, like chili con carne, and then you can either put it on top of like hot dogs or like the taco salad or whatever you want, like with sour cream and everything. Or one time my brother cornbread to go with the chili. That's good.
Nice.
Cooking show.
Naging cooking show nga eh. I'm curious though, since both of you are athletes, do you like work out together?
Yeah, actually,
As a-
during the pandemic, Alaska, because we couldn't work out together, like physically, Alaska would organize Zoom workouts. And so we were required 5 times a week to work out together. And she would join us. And, she'd be in the same like vicinity with me. And obviously she'll have some limitations, but I'll push her and I'll say, oh, you're going too hard, you're doing this. But yeah, I mean, and anytime I have some kind of issue with like my foot, my calf or something, like I'll talk to her, like, what do you think this is? And then we kind of think on the same level of as an athlete. Well, what did you do to it? Did you overwork it? Maybe rest it. And so I think that's where it comes into play as being athletes.
We both do yoga, but we don't do it together. It's like a personal space thing. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, we do yoga and we meditate, but separately.
Separately, yeah. We haven't.
separately.
We're not at that level to do it together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's also part of your alone time or me time.
For sure.
Okay. Wait, I have to ask Bella, how are you now? Because I know your condition the last time was not well. So how you been dealing? Because it's the pandemic has definitely played a role. It's an unforeseen factor. How are you right now?
Um, I'm I'm good. Majority, like it's like 80%, 80 to 90% good. But of course, with all the treatment that I underwent, there's like a lot of side effects, and they can be really scary. And you think like we always like there's always something that we think that it's something worse than it actually is. I mean, it's not minor, but then it's not the scariest that it could be. Like, so actually 2 weeks ago, I just had my PET scan again, and it was clear, yay, for like
Yeah,
Yay.
it's good. It's good
a
news.
year and a half, a year and a half already. And but then they found like some sort of obstruction, things like that. So it causes problems. Although I'm done with treatment, we still constantly monitor, and it's something that we're just gonna have to live with and learn to manage our fears and just be vigilant, I guess. But other than that, like we're in a good space right now, I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And Meg, do you have any?
Well, they've been together for a long time. Is there any plans on tying the knot soon?
Sorry.
Goodbye.
Tying the knot? Do you have any plans of getting married or something?
Oh, surprise!
Is this a big question?
Unless you
Well,
already did.
actually, we just for that side, I think we'll be very showbiz about it, and we'll just we'll keep it to ourselves, and we'll just I don't know, discuss this side of things when.
But it's definitely been talked about.
Right. And we
Don't ruin my showbiz
sorry.
side, showbiz answer.
I knew it. I felt it. I knew it. I know something was brewing. Anyway, it's
yeah.
okay. It was a question actually I pitched to
We,
make.
we we respect that. We respect that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. We won't force you. Although I'll PM Belay later.
For the real answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Kuya Brian, I'm sure nalaman na natin, no, yung kanilang love story, how it all
Right.
started.
Yeah, may one question lang ako. This is kasi
Okay,
this
sige.
is really bagay to Tony. Tony, when we last talked, we were talking about depression. All right? Now,
Ooh, okay.
ever since this pandemic started, we've been hearing that a lot of people have been dealing with depression. And well,
Yes.
unfortunately, some have, did the unthinkable. I just gotta ask you, as far as your colleagues or whoever, has anyone approached you? Because I know you're counseling, right? Has
Yeah.
anyone approached you?
Yeah, I'm actually a life coach, so the players, they know that like there's an open door. They can come talk to me anytime, and a couple of players have talked to me outside of basketball. But what's interesting is non-athletes approach me and they'll contact me. Hey, I heard about your story. You mind if we could talk? And we'll have sessions. So, but this pandemic definitely brought out, I think, the worst in a lot of people, but also the best.
Yeah.
And it's going to test your resiliency. And, and that's the one thing that I realized, that what's happening in the pandemic is not enough people feel that they can be heard. And so I think that's the biggest thing right there, is allowing people to express feelings, and it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to, be upset that you have to be locked in your house for days and months at a time. So I think that's the biggest part of like these feelings, is knowing that it's okay to be like this, and it's okay to be heard.
Mhm. Mhm. And I agree.
Yeah. Go ahead, Meg. Yeah.
So, yun na nga, no, nalaman na, as I was saying kanina, nalaman na natin ang kanilang love story. I think, Kuya Bri, it's about time to play a very short but fun game with Tony and Belay.
Be ready, guys.
We're competitive.
And
Short game.
yeah, for the record, I had nothing to do with this.
Is it a contest?
See, I told you they're gonna ask,
Whoever
ask
wins
Meg.
wins a prize. So
Yeah.
the game is called How Well Do You Know Your Partner?
Oh.
Okay, Brian, you might want to explain the mechanics of the game.
Okay, so these are basically hard questions, tough questions. You have to answer about each other. Each of you will answer it. It's a set of questions that Meg did, not me, for the record. Nagmalinis na ako bigla.
With disclaimer agad.
Na it's friendly, tame, sweet, but I hope you guys don't end up, Okay, so I think it's best Meg ask the first question.
Kuya Bri, yung ano na lang, yung the question we asked earlier na lang. I think that's better.
Which one?
Yung sa first interview natin.
Okay. Okay, sige, go.
Okay. So our first question is, you are happiest when your partner does blank. Belay.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm happiest.
Hard question ba?
What? I'm sweating. No, I'm happiest when my partner spends time with me and we're just sitting and having good conversations. That's it.
How about Tony?
I'm happiest when she gives me iced tea. I really am.
I'm curious why.
No, because I mean,
Yeah, why iced tea? And that's so simple.
Yeah.
I think because it's our love language, right? So her receiving love language is like touch and time. My receiving is service. Like I love service, and I don't need her to like serve me. It's just, oh, here's some iced tea. Like then that's my favorite drink.
I see in the background.
There's iced tea in the background.
Yeah, I noticed. Okay. Second question. Favorite pastime together and why?
Ooh. Should we say it right in there?
No.
Say it.
Watching sports. We
We love to watch sports,
sports.
like live or like on TV. Like we love it.
huge Laker fans, huge Dodger fans. Like,
Rams
So like if there's a game, we want to watch it. We're yelling.
with the
we're shouting,
jerseys.
Wow.
diehard fans.
Yeah. We just hosted the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we had a couple of friends. So.
Yeah. Socially distant. No, but yeah, we love watching sports and it's intense. It gets intense.
Right. And I think, Kuya Brian, kaya compatible sila because both of them are into sports.
Yes, correct.
They can relate.
Mhm.
All right, for our third question, most romantic moment with your partner.
Every day.
Tony.
Oh, what a sweet
Every day, cheesy.
sweet answer.
Wow.
Sweet answer.
That's my answer every day.
Stop it.
What? It's
What a liar. What a liar. What is it?
the most romantic.
Yeah.
I always say the same line because we have a roof deck. The sun sets. And some people will come over and they'll be like, wow, you have a great place. You can see the sunset. And I always say, well, I always see it in her eyes. And everyone's like, oh, cheesy.
Oh.
Why is she not reacting? Bella is not reacting.
Yeah, we're not. I don't know what it is. Why we're not like cheesy people. Like the last time Tony gave me flowers was maybe a long time ago. But what I will say for me, like he was very thoughtful, and that like when I had my last day of treatment that I drove myself to, by the by. He had a card waiting for me with like a letter from him and our dog, and it was just like congratulating me and like saying that I was reborn. If you want to see the full note. It's on Instagram, by the way. But it was really
Oh, yeah.
and just that, like, I felt so supported, and like it made me feel stronger because I felt like it was our accomplishment because it was a journey that we took together. So yeah, just him going out of his way and writing a note, which is very unusual for him, is so sweet to me already.
Aw.
Aww, babe.
Aww.
Nakakakilig. Okay.
Nakakilig, yes, true.
All right. So fourth question. What do you think is your partner's best quality and why?
You go first.
I think her best quality is she's not afraid to say her opinion. Like I really like that. Like she's not afraid to stand up for what she believes in. She's not afraid to voice out. Sometimes it's too much for me when she like voices against me, but she has her opinions, and I really like that. I admire that, and I think that's something that especially I think for a woman you need in society. Like I think too many times I think in society women they might feel voiceless, and she's not afraid to stand up and say that's wrong, this needs to change, and I really admire that from her. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Belay.
I think Tony is very, very like kind. Like his heart is very pure. He really is a kind person, and sometimes like it's everything in moderation right now. But sometimes to a fault that his kindness, like he can get taken advantage of. But then he's a very kind person, and it really takes a lot for him to get mad.
This is true.
Feeling.
No, that takes
So, in short, very patient. Very
He's patient, but then he's also like, kind-hearted. Like, yeah, that's all I mean. Yeah.
So what he is in the court? Well, how most people know him is that something like that.
yeah, I get.
Because I rarely see Tony get mad during games. If ever there was just once or twice, but mostly you're like very cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never gotten a technical foul.
Oh, okay. See.
My entire-
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. For our fifth question, who always say sorry first?
Boom.
Who Parang both of them are parenting sarili nila.
We're gonna disagree on this one. I say sorry all the time.
I always say sorry. Maybe the number increases when you're the one who made the mistake.
Okay.
I guess, but
More time. Okay. Sige.
Okay, Febray.
Okay. Do you believe in the saying, "Happy wife, happy life"?
100%.
Yes.
That is the truest statement.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a yes.
Yes.
Hands down.
Hands
100,
down.
100%. From experience and from other experience. Just
Yes.
kidding.
Happy wife, happy
Yeah.
From observation, experience, anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. How about you, Kuya Bri? Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Of course.
All right. Next question. Greatest lesson you've learned with your partner?
Ikaw muna.
I think at the end of the day, like with what we've been through, what she's been through, is to take everything one day at a time. It's okay to like think in the future, but you always and be grateful. You have to be grateful for right now, this moment. I think, I mean, I would tell her this, like I would always think back before she got sick, and I would always regret like, why did we fight so much about that or this? Or remember we wasted time doing this or that? And I heard a saying that a happy person wants 10,000 things, a sick person only wants one. And I think it's the truest statement where you just, how grateful are you for your health and the fact that you can talk and walk and breathe right now. and that's for everyone. So I think that's the greatest lesson I learned, is to be grateful for what you have right now.
Is it what's
How
the
about
greatest
Belay?
thing I learned from you?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I think I also learned. I was thinking that, like Tony's taught me how to take things one day at a time, be present, like don't worry too much about something that happened already or something that's about to happen. And also he taught me to really, be kinder to myself, because I feel like I'm really hard on myself, and the way I see myself is different, I feel, from how Tony sees me. Oh, he's sweet. I'm so sweet pala. But no, I really think that I really feel that he sees me differently than how I see myself. So that makes me feel better about myself, I think.
Ayos, ah.
Alright, that's nice.
So
At least
for
there's realization, di ba?
no. Okay. Last question. Who is more inclined to be jealous? Pointing again.
Oh, God.
No, Bella is, like, ina-admit ni Bella na siya yung jealous sa relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Explain yourself.
Diba they said if you have like your nose gets sweaty in the bridge, parang they would say that you're like celosa. Is that true? I don't know. No, I'm just
I've
kidding.
heard of that.
Diba? They say that, but my nose is very sweaty. But yeah, no. Yeah, I more insecure. But now, no, not as much. You're right. I'm feeling.
I think at the end of the day,
But I can disagree.
yeah, I think
Go
I'm a
ahead.
friendly person, and so she might misconstrue that as being overly friendly. But I genuinely
Like to talk to
I like to
people.
talk to people. I'm very interested in people. Man,
Story.
yes, man, woman, child, anything. Like, oh, tell me, and I don't care what profession you have. I'm interested. Like, tell me about that.
Like for example, when you're sitting in the, because obviously we always get that front row thing on the airplane, and when you're sitting there, you're like in front of the flight attendant. No fail, he will always ask, and it might even seem like, for example, if I'm not with him, it might seem to the flight attendant that he's flirting with them, but he will ask whether it's a man or a woman. What's the scariest thing that happened to you on a flight? Yeah, no doubt. So parang like he has this he wants to learn about people. That's his thing. Like he
Right.
always is intrigued and he'll always ask questions. So before it was harder for me to understand that. But like, over time, I guess that over time, yeah.
So Bella, hindi ka na jealous. Wala nang jealous moments or meron pa rin. And how do you deal with that? Do you confront him?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I will. Like, I'll just tell him. Like, who's that bitch? Like that. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I will like be upfront about it. Who's that? Like, what's like? I'll ask him. Like, I don't care if he'll get mad at me. Just kidding. But it's not as often now. But because for me, I feel like I'm an open book. Like you can take a look at anything. Like I wouldn't have any conversation that I wouldn't have when you're not there. Parang that's how I feel. So that's why I feel like I can also ask him that. Yeah.
Curious lang ako with Tony, how do you handle it when during the times na nagsiselos si Belay?
I mean, a part of me is I understand it. There needs to be a need for, not saying that I understand her being jealous, but jealousy is a good thing in some sense, that like at least you know that you're jealous for a reason, right? Like you want someone's attention or something like that. But I also think that it could be misplaced, and so I just try to, I guess, encourage her, or I don't know what I would use.
No, parang he'll
Support her,
yeah, he'll just like
comfort her.
yeah, answer it till it gets boring for me to ask na. Diba? Parang,
Yeah, but then I mean, and it also makes me feel like, damn, does she think I'm a cheater? I just think that I just think that it comes down to the fact that I really enjoy talking to people, and It's not necessarily, oh, this is a pretty person, pretty woman, I'm gonna talk to her. It's even if it was a man or if it was someone who looked like this, I'd still show genuine interest in your profession, in your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps me when I do life coaching. I'm very interested in curious about your life. So maybe it could be misconstrued as, oh, he's trying to get to know this person better, which I genuinely am.
Right. Kuya Bri, talaga ng mga lumalim ang ating knowledge sa kanilang relationship. And I've learned a lot, no?
Mas
Despite
lumalim
doon
pa
sa
nga eh.
kanilang... mas lumalim, no?
Yung last time ko nakausap ko sila, hindi ganito kalalim eh. So, cheesy. But anyway, yun. So, ano, Neg? Wala ka ng questions for them?
Yeah, we're so thankful that game na game sila na maglaro sa ating short game and answered it truthfully.
Yeah. Siguro, one last question for you guys. What would you advise couples now who want to maintain let their relationship go strong?
Siguro, like, based on everything we experienced, apart from, I'm sure Tony will say something about me being sick, but I think just listen to each other, because nowadays it's so easy to get pressured by social media. Like, we cannot stress that enough, or like comments or likes or like people saying this thing. There's so many things that can go on and can really confuse your thoughts on like whether it's resolving a problem or what you really want in life. And I think it's important to go back to like what matters to you, what matters to both of you, and to find the time and the space to shield that outside world, all those things that can be said, that can change your mind, can blur everything, so that you don't lose sight of really what's important to you and what's important to both of you. So, so many times I can see friends, relationships that get affected by what other people say, or how they handle their life in social media. So I think it really helps that Tony doesn't have social media, but also that he always reminds me that that's why we don't really share as much of our private life on social media. But I will say there's a caveat to that. I do very openly share my journey in cancer, because I really want to be as open as possible to even help like one person. And I'm very open to people. I know people say, oh, I don't want you to be offended. I want to ask this question, and I'm not offended. Like, if I can help you, you or your loved one is going through this journey, I'm very open to helping. So maybe if someone out there, wants to talk about anything, Tony and I are both open to that. So just go back to the basics and focus on what both of you really want out of life, and just, go for it together.
I don't know how to follow that. I mean, are you allowing yourself to be what you want to be, and also supporting the person for the same question? Are you supporting them for what they want to be? And if you guys can do it together, then I think it's a good partnership. And I think that's where things go astray if it's only one-sided for a partnership. If it's only he gets everything and she has to support him at all costs, or vice versa. So I think at the end of the day, it's about living the best life you can live and supporting the other person to live the best life they can live. I think it all works out.
I like that. Living your best life.
Nice, very nice. So yeah, I guess that's about it. But before we let you go, I know you guys are into a lot of things right now. So I'm giving you the floor to maybe invite them or promote your anything that you like, especially Belay. I know you have a lot of businesses right now.
Whoa.
We actually share our business. We share a cleaning business
Yeah.
called Clean Patrol. So if you need disinfecting, sanitizing, or cleaning for your space, whether it's commercial or residential, please get in touch with Clean Patrol PH or Clean Patrol Alabang on Facebook. Or directly get in touch with me, and I will gladly assist you get that clean home or office space that you need. What else do you want to promote? Alaska chicken and I don't know if you've seen that new ad. The Alaska.
There's a new Alaska.
There's a
ad.
new ad. You have to look for it. I directed that scene of Tony, and I think it's worthy
She'll send you the link after this.
worthy of an award.
Yeah, please do.
Really?
Alaska. No, it's just very short, but it's a good one. We'll share it with you. But yeah, that's it. And hopefully, sports fans that are listening out there, give women's football a chance and support us as we try to go for the bid of the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2023 in Australia.
All right. Okay. Thank
right,
you
thank you so much.
Bella and Tony. And how about you, Meg? Final words before we end it.
Ako, I just really want to thank you, Kuya Bri, for inviting me again. I had so much fun dito sa 2 episodes na nag-co-host ako. Thank you so much. And of course, sports fans, please do support Sports Bytes.
Yum. And on that note, we hope you enjoyed our time with Bella and Tony. I did, and Meg did. So
Yes, definitely.
hope for the lovers out there got something out of this. All right. Good night, everybody. Happy Valentines in advance.
Happy Valentine's.
Sure.